promised in our intro that we are going to focus on the civil societies and in particular on the National Alliance for Civil Development Action, which is playing an important role on supporting the government's efforts in helping with our trials or attempts all the time to change the image of life or to raise the standard of life, particularly for the needy people and for the low-income brackets. To shed more light on the civil society's role and its importance, and on the National Alliance for Civil Development Action in specific as one of the prominent examples, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Dr. Nevine Nakhla, Professor of Business Administration. A very good morning to you, Dr. Nakhla.
Good morning to you all.
First, Merry Christmas, of course. We wish that you have enjoyed a happy Eid and Merry Christmas. And if you permit me, I'd like to focus on, first, a general perspective, the importance of the civil society and the keenness of the political leadership to say that we are a state of institutions, meaning public institutions, private institutions, and civil societies or civil institutions, all together working for the best interests of the Egyptian citizen at large. If you please elaborate on that.
Yes, first of all, Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to everyone. Because the government cannot work alone to serve everywhere and every place for 100 million population, of course, the cooperation between the civil society is very important. And we saw that a number of Egyptian civil society organizations witnessed signing the charter of the National Alliance for Civil Development Work, which seeks to ensure effective engagement of civil society institutions and NGOs of Egypt to develop communities and meet their legitimate needs. We saw that 24 different civil society organizations and NGOs collaborated together and working together under one big strategic plan to serve the segments of underserved people or needy people in different governorates.
And in remote areas in specific. But if you permit me, I'd like also to focus on the types of support. I mean, cash, food. I mean, they are close to people to the extent that they know what do they need and to fulfill their needs, of course, in cooperation with the government efforts to achieve this goal and with other presidential initiatives to help the most needy brackets.
Yes, and of course we know that during 2022 it was the year of the civil society.
Mm-hmm.
So before the year ended, His Excellency, our beloved President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, cared for this alliance and this National Alliance for Civil Development Action to get together. And you know, each organization and each NGO of the 24 got together in this alliance. Mm-hmm. They had a specific part of working. For example, one organization was specialized in medical convoys or in economic
early detection of breast cancer, in addition to the eye diseases for the children at schools. As you've kindly mentioned, medical convoys in specific, they were doing such a great job.
Yes, so when they got together, so many good things happened. First thing is collecting the data all together. Each organization and each NGO, they have their own data. And sometimes people were getting all the support from all the organizations and other people are not reaching out. So the reach out and the strategic planning of where to go, also with this alliance, they were choosing the places. Of course, they were choosing the places of Decent Life Initiative, the first phase, with the governorate itself and with the Ministry of Social Solidarity, putting all the data together to put priority which village to start working in and which area and who are the real segments that need the service. And if you're talking about the medical convoys, when you have the data, you know how many people you are serving, you know where you are going to locate the medical convoy,
Yes.
how many eyeglasses you need, how many operations you need, if there is more of one of the diseases.
To have a
or something.
database, to have accurate statistics is very important.
Exactly.
Dr. Nakhla, how do you see empowering the less privileged people? I mean, empowering women in very remote areas. And to what extent do you think that this made the alliance and the civil society in general gaining more trust or confidence? Now the people there knew that they are going to benefit from the existence of such NGOs or such entities. They are doing something tangible on the ground. It's not only words, but there are deeds.
Yes. The most respectable thing with this alliance, that each and every one of the 24 organizations and NGOs for civil development, they are already working on the ground since years and years. But putting the puzzle together and showing the world how Egypt can really collaborate and make teamwork together, this is a very respectable alliance. Regarding the empowering of women and empowering of youth, I have to highlight on one great thing that's taking place: the amount of volunteers that are volunteers, administrative, executives doing on the ground is amazing. Thousands and thousands of youth aged from 18 to 25 or even more are putting hands in this alliance for a cause. Each time it's a call for volunteers, it's with a cause. If we have a medical convoy, it's a cause. If you have economical empowerment, it's a cause.
You know, Dr. Nakhla, this was one of my questions regarding the culture of volunteering.
Exactly.
I see it really developing in our country, and I'm that proud of our youth who are keen to participate, to share, and they feel the value of what they are doing on the ground with our people.
Exactly. And the good thing about it, when you go to a governorate or you go to a village or to a place you're going to serve the people, you have volunteers from the area. So they know the culture, they know the numbers, they help you with serving. Like we were saying about the economical empowerment, also, it's not like you go and you give people a sewing machine and you leave them. The volunteers in each area, they have a checklist. They are responsible to follow up on the people who took the service or took the machine or the small supermarket or the vocational training. They have a monthly visit for a year with a very standard operation procedure, SOP checklist, to make sure that people are not, they didn't sell the machine, for example. That it's working and they don't need more training. They don't need more vocational training or more maybe resources or anything to support them to continue the work. So this is very important, I mean.
Dr. Nakhla, I'm always saying that if you want to measure to what extent a society is civilized and well-cultured, see how this society is dealing with people with determination.
Exactly.
And the awareness campaigns and introducing the integrated services card for people of determination, this was one of the tasks of the National Alliance, and it was really that successful on the ground. How do you see in, the integration of people with determination and the role of the Alliance or the civil society in general in this regard?
Yes, awareness is what our beloved president was calling us to start working in. because if you give decent life initiative to a place and the people, they don't know what you're doing, they don't know why the government is doing, for example, this decent life initiative. What are they gaining and what are they losing if they don't take care of their these initiatives? This is very important. Awareness for health awareness, what to eat, what not to eat, awareness for the importance of work, the importance of education. A lot of awareness took place and very important to take place. Hello?
And Dr. Nakhla, if you permit me, I wanted also to focus on the number of villages, I beg your pardon, or the number of regions which are really benefiting from such initiatives. And here I'm talking about millions of Egyptians. How do you see this in numbers? I mean, this is something which is really taking place on the ground, and it's not only directed to certain places or certain regions, it's distributed nationwide. How do you see the vast or the wide areas covered by such initiatives?
Yes, this is one very important outcome of this alliance, because when you talk to one organization or one NGO, they have a limit for covering a place or covering a limit in the volunteers, a limit in the money, a limit in the funds. But when you're talking about 24 different civil society and NGOs working together and putting a strategic plan. So they work first, as we were saying, they work first on all the decent life initiative villages, which you're talking about more than 1,500 villages all over the governorate. Also, you see that each organization and NGO are very specific and are clever in doing one area.
Yes.
But when they come together, you are serving the area. Of course, you're not serving one area at a time. You're serving hundreds at one time, and each one with his capabilities and with his interactive approach, I mean. So,
yes, Dr. Nakhla, of course, the whole world is suffering inflation, suffering economic crises, the supply chain, food security, energy security. The whole world is suffering economically. So, do you think that it's time to increase the share of the NGOs or the civil societies into the development process or the economic process, because any country, any government will not be able to cover all the needs or to work alone regarding to work alone for the best interest of its people, of course, in light of all these economic shadows or economic crises?
yes, of course. And the most important thing also of this alliance is giving hope to people and giving real hand and real care to people, that they should not be scared of any economical crisis worldwide or they think it's going to affect them. No, it's not going to affect the needy people and the underserved people, because with such an alliance with the government, and as we were saying, this alliance, they don't work alone. They work with the data and with the capabilities and abilities of the Ministry of Social Solidarity, with the governorate itself, the governor of each governorate. So putting the hand together with the government, with the civil society and the NGOs of Egypt, this gives, first of all, it gives hope. It gives assurance that Egypt is a strong government that will not leave its people to suffer from the worldwide economical crisis. It gives real work on the ground, and the most important thing is it gives the service and the things to the real needy people. with putting
And
the
in a
data.
direct manner, I mean, they are all the time face to face with those needy people, listening to them in person, holding events,
Exactly.
holding exhibitions for clothes at reduced prices, for example, food and non-food commodities, spreading awareness. This direct contact, this direct relation, I think it's one of the main reasons behind their success.
Of course, and also like when we were talking about the economical crisis, economical empowerment, for example, they study very well if these people who are going to take the economic empowerment, are they able, are they capable, are they are they healthy, are they for example, if they're smoking or taking drugs, of course they are not going to take the economical project. So I mean, taking the numbers and taking the feeling the on the ground service and giving the right service to the right people. This is worth a lot to
Sure.
Egyptians.
And taking into consideration even the geographic nature of each place and the needs of each area according to its nature, the circumstances of people there, and taking also into consideration the will of the people to continue on the right path. It's not only to take cash and that's it, but to find a project or to start even a very small project to be able to continue with their lives without waiting for things to happen. If you understand what I'm talking about.
Yes.
If I
This is
can put
very,
myself clear, I mean.
Yes, this is very important, is testing the will and with the awareness. People, they know how the government is working and to which thing the government is heading. So people are like soldiers with the government achieving everything good. For example, this alliance, they work not only with the volunteers on the ground, also there are three different strategic things they are working in. They are working in food, giving food to the people and assuring that no one is not having the right food. Also serving with care. Also the economical empowerment. So working on different pillars and different strategic plans, this is very important. Like we saw clothes fairs, the last fair of clothes for people, it had 20,000 pieces of clothes free for people. We saw in the medical convoys different operations, different medicine distributed to the right people. We saw literacy classes. We saw awareness for drug abuse.
You know, Dr. Nakhla, I feel that sometimes those NGOs or such, the National Alliance is working as a think tank. They do have a brainstorming round tables, for example, just to let those people in remote area feel that they are backed, they are supported, and we can exchange ideas for the best interest of you. You will lead a happy, decent life. You are going to work and we are going to back you. This is it. And this win-win situation is for the best interest of our people and our sustainable development process. If you agree with me on that.
Yes, I like the word think tank, and this is very important. And this is revealed in the strategic planning. A think tank, when they really study each governorate and each village, sometimes they do the economical empowerment with adding value to what already is in the village. For example, there is something the village is producing, but they need a machine or they need a more vocational training.
Yes.
This is what a think tank is also, putting solutions for any problems. This this village or this governorate is facing in more empowerment and in more being better, healthy, or better economically empowered, or better in the branding of the village. Because, as you know, in Egypt we have a cultural and a branding map. Each village and each part of Egypt, they are very specific and very known for a plantation, or known for a production, or known for a culture. So a think tank putting this on a big map and working strategically to serve the community. Each governorate is different in the needs and in the way you want to serve them.
Amen to that.
Some
Very well said,
governorates,
doctor.
they won't
Well,
need
yeah.
the medical convoys. Others, they need more medical convoys, or they need more blankets because it's colder, for example. Some villages, they need more interfering in adding value to their plantation, for example. Like we saw a lot of projects for the sun-dried tomato, and a lot of ideas and a lot of strategic planning to really serve in a strategic way, and not to lose the different funds and the different interfering of these NGOs, to make them more powerful by studying each and every case. And the Alliance, they meet every week, and sometimes more than twice, 3 times per week,
Yes.
to put this plan together.
Yep.
It is not haphazard.
No, nothing is taking place in a haphazard way. The word
Exactly.
strategic, which you repeated more than once, is a key word, and I think it's one of the key words behind the success of the Alliance and of similar entities. Professor Nevine Nakhla, Professor of Business Administration, thank you very much for your input. You are always an added value to our programs. We are going to leave you with a promise to have you again in more episodes of our breakfast show. Have a very good day. Right after the short break, we are going to return back with more, so stay tuned.